starting off high.
We can get
I think
two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a foo raid.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise wolves.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? I was trying to stall for time here for Cliff. So sorry if it went a little black screen there for a second.
He waited on me.
You know, I try, man. I try. Welcome to the season 1 finale of Do Fools Agree.
Listen.
We made it. We did 52 weeks straight, which is insane to me in retrospect, but we did it. We pulled it off. The pandemic helped. We couldn't do anything else.
Right.
So
You're right. Listen.
What's going on, Cliff? How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. I'm here. I'm glad to be back in person. Shit.
Back in person in the new digs. Welcome to the dungeon.
You know?
The dungeon studios, replacing the Citadel studios. So, welcome. And props to Cliff. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's real well in the background of his image, but on his video. But Cliff did a little, was that a painting? A little bit of an illustration.
A little something.
To match up with the logo. We got it hanging in the studio. We'll have more shit on the walls here probably in the next, I don't know, 2 weeks. I've been busy.
Real Andy Warhol in here.
I've been busy building furniture all week. I haven't had a chance to decorate the studio yet.
It's nice though.
You know, we'll have to ask our fans, and I'll check it out on the podcast. We'll see if the acoustics in here work out all right. We might have to do a little bit of soundproofing here and there. And
you can figure it out.
So if y'all hear any kind of crazy background noise, or if you're having issues with the sound, let us know in the chat just so we can kind of keep up from there. But, you know, overall, I think we're happy with where we're at, and we'll figure it out, and it'll get better with time. That's how this shit usually goes. So what you got going on, man? What you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going tonight?
I got a couple, I guess. One is I have figured out that, and I think we've touched on this on the podcast previously, but I have confirmed that I am very socio.
What do you mean? What's socio?
Like I'm very borderline sociopathic.
Oh shit. And how so?
And one of the reasons why I say that is because I legitimately this podcast is my favorite podcast to listen to. Even though I'm present in it.
So
like here,
I don't know that it's sociopathic. I think that the word you're looking for is narcissistic.
Okay, right. Okay, that's it. I feel
egocentric
things.
is another.
I feel things.
A little egotistical.
Right.
You have feelings.
Right.
They may not be what people would consider normal feelings, but you have feelings. So
Right. We'll go. Yeah, we'll go narcissistic. But what I did find is that out of all the podcasts that I've been listening to for a while, and long before we ever decided to do one ourselves, it hit me the other day that I like listening back to this podcast more than any of those other ones, even though I've participated in it myself.
And you know what was said.
For the most part. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy listening back to it, because it's almost like someone recording you while you're drunk and playing it back for you in the morning, and you're like, oh, I did that, or I said that.
I said that. I did say that.
And
correction. I had sex with Katie.
Right? And I listen, I enjoy it.
Alleged. Oh, son of a bitch.
I do. I very much so enjoy hearing things.
Well, I appreciate you listening back on the ones that we do over Zoom, because that's where I'm able to sneak in the one-liners that you never pick up on.
And that's another thing that I get a kick out of too, because it's so much that just goes over. I won't even say goes over my head, because I call myself being present in the moment, but it lets you know exactly how once you get a few drinks in you, that active listening starts to deactivate. You know what I mean?
Dissipates.
And then it's just about what you're saying at the moment, and you don't hear anything else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying, because you do this shit to me all the time.
Listen, well, you fall asleep before you get there, to my point.
True.
You're giving.
I'm nodding off.
Right. Yeah. Me. That's a point I reach every.
That's where you. That's where you start to excel.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I heard from your FB's bachelor party.
Listen.
Allegedly.
Or not. I don't know. Shit.
I don't have the soundboard queued up, or else I'd get our little sound effect going with, what is it, Wendy Williams?
Hey, baby steps.
Oh, man. Hey, now that I've got a desk and I can actually put like a true soundboard on it, I'm going to be in here like a morning radio DJ. Like,
I see. You got your little Johnny Carson action popping off.
Oh, man.
I'm single on the love seat over here. You didn't got your Johnny Carson desk popping off.
Well,
there.
You're welcome to buy a desk and bring it in.
Be the double whip. We going to be looking like Chelsea Lately up in this bitch.
I mean, we can get you. There's a folding chair over there in the corner. We've got a TV table, one of those TV trays. We can get 3 or 4 of those and just line them up.
It's all right. This first episode. Wait till my mind get going, and you're gonna see one day. Next time we gonna do this podcast, and I'll be standing at a podium.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Listen.
Let me be clear.
And
this is Clifford Jennings.
Draws on from the waist down too. No pants on at my podium.
Well, it's funny because we were having this conversation before the podcast started, and you and I both have the habit of business up top, party on the bottom during Zoom calls and shit like that. You were talking about work and never having a shirt on.
I keep shorts on because I don't trust it. I don't, you know what I mean? I just don't trust it. I don't know what y'all got going on there. Now, don't get me wrong. I have walked past that camera nude a few times in hopes that a lock screen is a lock screen. But hey,
hey, if your IT guys are looking, they deserve the show they get. But no, my thing is the T-shirt all day, unless I'm meeting with one of the VPs or the SVPs at my company, and then I gotta have the polo that I can throw on over top. Especially because we've got one executive suite officer that basically I won't say she demands, she asks that everybody always have their cameras on, and the expectation is that you're presentable when you meet with her.
Well, they pay you enough too.
That's true. And at least I haven't been told to go get a button down. I'm good with my polo. So.
Listen, the way they pay me, you get the fuck you get. You be lucky if I'm still there when I turn that camera on.
You're lucky I got pants on. Don't you hate pants? I hate pants.
Fuck that.
Oh man. Anything else? Any other kind of inadvertent thoughts? The thing is, man, this is the last episode of season 1. And we didn't really talk topics, so we're going to kind of free flow this one, see how it goes.
Right, yeah, I figured we shoot from the hip, but I don't have a
I think that's the way we should roll for the season 1 finale.
Yeah, you know, what's the point? What's the point in outlining this shit?
Right. Well, you know me, I like to outline it.
Listen, sometimes you just got to stand up on that surfboard and ride the fucking wave. Hang 10, dude. But as far as inadvertence, I do have another inadvert.
All right.
I've been seeing these young ladies, and I'm going to call them young ladies, all been doing these challenges. The most recent is the bust down challenge.
Oh, no. What's that?
Nothing.
I had an associate today tell me about she was doing the what is it, burnt orange and sugar. Is supposed to bring your taste back after COVID.
Oh, yeah,
She let me know that's not true.
It's not?
It does not.
Yeah, I did see the
I'm like,
video.
this is what happens when you got a 20-something working for you.
Yeah, I did see the video of the dude that said that worked.
Well, false. Confirmed.
Maybe
false.
she didn't do it right.
I mean, it's possible.
Maybe she didn't do it right. But I don't know. Maybe that video was just for a lot of dumb people like her.
Easy now.
That believed it.
Alright, so tell me about this bust down challenge.
Well, wait, before I tell you about the bust down challenge, I don't work there, so let me tell you about your friend.
I'm my friend. Playing. One of my direct reports.
I'm just playing, okay? I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But what I will say...
I love you. You know how I have my couple? You've got your own couple in terms. I'm just playing.
What's that?
That's Cliff's... I said something really inappropriate, and now I'm going to try to backtrack, but not really backtrack, and just say... I'm just playing.
Oh no, I didn't say anything inappropriate.
I understand, but that's your. I understand. I don't disagree with you. That's your version of that. I just want you to know that. You've got your own like 3 or 4.
Of what? What is it now?
I'm just playing. Like Uncle Dan even called that one out.
That might be.
You and I both have our like 3 or 4.
That might be accurate.
Default phrases.
But what I will say is, the fact that people are trying the burnt orange challenge to get their taste buds back is the equivalent of that line that was wrapped around New York because the guy put in the false statement that they had extra COVID vaccinations at that location. And they said 100,000 people showed up and were lined up around the... And that just goes to show...
And they all got COVID.
You could potentially, but the bottom line is, I thought at least, and maybe not because I wasn't raised in everyone's household, but I know one of the things that was etched into my brain as a child was you cannot believe everything you hear.
What does it believe? Half of what you see and none of what you hear?
Now, common sense. Not so common, but common sense would say, at least for the people in New York, I've never heard of any other place that had a walk-up vaccination spot. So why would I assume New York, of all places, would be the first to roll that out? And with that rolled out, why wouldn't it go to the essential workers before? Why wouldn't there be an order of operations to this? What makes me think that my entitled ass can walk down to a line and bypass the nation to get vaccinated?
Well, I think, Cliff, because as the last 2 weeks have proven, Americans are crybabies, and if they don't get their way, They throw temper tantrums.
Equaling to, I can't taste or smell. Let me burn an orange real quick. And roll the juices around in the skin of the orange. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. It could have been a situation where it was driving her so crazy, she was like, I'll do anything.
I'll try it just to try it at this point, because I get it. Like, I've seen what happens to my wife when she loses her sense of taste, and she is just not, like, she would do anything. Like, I've literally seen her hold her head over a pot of boiling water for 5 minutes to clear her sinuses enough for 30 seconds for her to take a bite of a blue cheeseburger. Just so she could taste it.
Inappropriate? How about suck a dick and prove your relationship? Use your superpowers for good. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, okay, I gotta suffer through not having taste and not having smell. I might as well put some work in while I'm here. It's gonna be the best blowjob you probably ever gave in your life. Like, stop playing games. Let's stop playing games here. What's going on?
I hope Shar didn't tune in this 5 minutes of the podcast on her way home from soccer. If you did, this was not me saying those things.
Listen,
that was my partner in crime here.
I'm just
my
saying.
PIC.
I'm just saying, keep it G. And I hope it was last year that you lost your smell while I'm up in this bitch. But I'm just saying, next time, if there is a next time, use your superpowers to your advantage. You got to go through it anyway, right? Let's improve the relationship while we're here, right? I mean, I might as well. Let's knock out some birds.
All right, moving on.
Well, anyway, the busted challenge.
So it's busted or bust down? Like, I thought you said bust down.
I don't know if it's busted. It's not. Did I say bust down?
Yes, you did.
Probably because that's who's doing the challenges.
People that are sitting at the bus stop? I'm kidding.
He tried to act like
I'm always good for a dad joke.
Yeah, clearly. You don't act like you don't know what a bust down is. I know you know. But it's nothing. It's nothing at all. And it brought up the inadvertent that, you know what? Let me stop. Let me not be so critical, because we got away from the Tide Pod challenge and the Benadryl challenge.
What was the blue whale? There was like a blue whale challenge. I don't remember what that one was.
All these fucking challenges. So let me not.
I mean, Darwinism's a thing, right?
I believe, but let me not pull down anybody, because at least just don't call it a challenge is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Do you remember the Don't Rush Challenge?
Mm-mm.
So basically the Don't Rush Challenge was these females, what females would do is they would show themselves like in like their work attire, about to go to bed, or looking real rough, right? Okay. And then they would switch it to them being all done up and like so they
like
show
the hair flip and they go down and they come back up and they're all done up or whatever. Okay.
That's the busted challenge.
Okay. I didn't know that's what that was.
The only difference is now
is it in reverse?
They're popping while they do it. You feel me? So they'll show themselves rough or about to go to bed or whatever, and then they'll drop down like on their tippy toes and start popping their ass, and they'll be looking like the Don't Rush. It's the Don't Rush Challenge with popping now. Okay. But my whole thing is, where's the challenge?
Right.
And do you lose? You feel what I'm saying? Like, if that's the challenge, you feel me? Because we're at a point right now where it's like, let's equality and we don't want to be toxic and all that. But it's like, if that's the challenge, then shouldn't me as the person judging the challenge be able to say, you're ugly, you lost. Or you couldn't pop, you lost. Or you don't have ass, you didn't have no business doing that challenge,
in the first
you
place.
lost. So it's almost like you're bringing out the misogyny, right? You know what I mean? It's like we'll fight to stop and make it they, them, him, her, and then we'll just bring it right back to.
That's where we started.
just choose your words wiser, because it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. I mean, what are you being challenged to do? Makeup?
It's like it's the fad. I'm with you. Like, challenge is not a good word. So what's a word we could give them? Like, how did that start off as a challenge? I mean, I guess no, because even like the what was it? The ALS challenge, which was wasn't that the ice cubes or whatever? Like dumping the bucket of ice over yourself.
I mean, but
how is that even a challenge?
Right,
though?
That's not a challenge. That's not a
so
challenge.
So what's the right word to go there? What's the right word? Like,
I don't know. It
really is a fad. It's a meme. Is what it is.
Of course, it's a
Although, also, by the way, Malk, I know this is coming from the guy that did the hot chip challenge, so just saying.
Listen, I just ate the chip, motherfucker. I wasn't a part of no challenge. Didn't nobody record me or nothing like that. Maybe after.
I think there were some videos of you that popped up after.
I just ate the chip, G. I wouldn't participate in no challenge. I just said, give me that pussy ass chip.
And I feel like you did not feel like it was a pussy ass chip after you had it.
No, it wasn't no pussy ass chip. It was a reason that was a challenge. That was a challenge, okay? That was a real challenge, okay?
There was a challenge coming out the other end, too.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. They said motherfuckers was going to the hospital off that shit. That was a challenge. That shit hurt. You hear what I'm saying? I just wish...
Malk chiming in on the chat, yeah, we recorded him.
Yeah, that was a challenge, boy.
Caleb chiming in before that about texting Shar.
Text her.
Don't do that, Caleb. Don't do
Text
that.
her. Text her, tell her, Shar, how's your taste been? Mike's been wanting to know.
Well, season 1 was a good time, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually not just the season 1 finale. This is the series finale.
Yeah, listen, I figured we go out with a bang. You hear me? You done made me play fucking tag in this new studio. That's what I feel like this new studio is. If I can make it to base, I'm safe. But once I leave or come, you better be on the lookout, because motherfuckers is trying to tag you.
Oh, man.
But, you know, sometimes I gotta...
Are you just talking about having to drive into Bexley? Is that what that was all about? I hear you.
That's tag.
If you take this street all the way to the end and then take a right, it'll dump you back out on Stealth.
James.
James.
Okay. Wait, like down that way? Like
go
away from where I'm going?
Away from, yes.
Maine. That's where I'll go. That's exactly what I'll do.
I think it'll...
I'm
pretty sure it dumps you back out on... If not, you can take some... You can...
Either way, I'll figure... Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense. That makes me more comfortable now. I didn't think of that. It's really just Main
I feel like James/Stelzer is fine, because...
It's...
The Centerfold Club's right there. You make the wrong turn, you just go there instead.
Listen, is it still open?
I mean, the building's still there. The sign's still out front. I don't know. I've never been.
Well, a good friend of ours worked there, so...
I heard. Bouncer, right? Or was he up on stage?
I don't know. Whether or not we're allowed back in there or not.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Or factually, I don't know. I wouldn't. But if we're not,
have your picture on the wall. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, they wouldn't have me on the wall. That's a fact, Jack. But if we're not allowed back in, I will be giving out a free entry code to next week.
What would it take for us to get sponsored by the Centerfold Club?
Well, Only person with pool right now, we got a year and some change to find out.
All right, we'll wait. Oh man, you know what I do like about this new space? Just looking at it, I think it's gonna be good for when we have guests back. Because we got the other couch over here, we got you over here, got this, we got the mounted TV that can roll around. I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, no, I think so.
And I can't wait to get back to that and have some people in, because I feel like, to the point, we've got some soundproofing. You just want
to show off your fucking Johnny Carson desk.
No, for real, it's about, like, I do feel like we've got, once we get kind of the divider there and we soundproof a little bit better, I feel like we've got a relatively professional setup. So when we were looking at this house, the realtor told us that the family that lived here before, so not the rabbi,
disappeared out of nowhere.
The rabbi just disappeared. We don't know what
and they don't listen. They've been reselling this house for the past 5 years because families are disappearing.
But no, what I heard was the last owner, the husband, was running kind of a business from home out of here, and he blew up. That's part of the reason why they were able to afford something.
Oh, he blew up. Like he got money.
Yeah, he got money.
Oh, God, I thought he like spontaneously
got money. It just burst into flames. I
don't know. Motherfucking house got
we got blessings on the door.
Right, I told him one day he gonna try to walk out the door and just get stopped by an invisible wall. It don't work for black folks because according to Nick Cannon, we are the original Hebrews. So I can come and go as I please. But all I know is that rabbi was storing something. Other than
we haven't found it yet.
Other than kosher dishes.
Too much, man. Too much.
Oh, it's the finale.
It is. It is. Full fucking year in. Last week we actually talked about kind of the year in review. So
that is so much funnier to me than anybody else.
I guess.
Understands. Oh man. Woo. Okay. Where were we?
I don't know. What else we got to talk about?
Did you?
You want to talk about the Bills and how they've got the Ravens this weekend?
Yeah. I don't see a problem with that.
I don't either, especially because they got to come to Buffalo.
Don't try to skate over. You don't got no inadverts?
I really don't. I mean, this week, you got to remember, dude. Like, I literally spent the first, out of the last 7 days, 5 of those, all I did was move furniture.
Right.
And I mean, actually, you know what? I'll let you know it's something. It's not necessarily an inadvertent.
Future Cliff, you're going to laugh at that a lot harder than you did just a minute
I don't know if you could laugh at it harder.
Like, you'd be surprised. Oh, shit.
But no, man, I was moving furniture all week. I will say that I did find out something that was kind of cool. So we used 2 Men in a Truck to move our stuff on Wednesday.
And you got a discount?
Wasn't a discount, but I had done enough pre-work that we came in like $500, $600 under the estimate.
Oh, that's what's up.
So that was good. And I was talking to the guys. I found out they have an award named after my old partner.
Oh, really?
So they named an award after Anthony Thompson, Big Fish, Ant, Miss You Dude. Yeah, like the person who works the most hours in a month gets the Anthony Thompson Award. And I thought that was just a cool thing because, especially after partnering with him for like 2 summers in a row. And
is that just here or is that
company-wide? That's just a franchise thing, so it's just the Columbus offices.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, that's still what's up.
It is what's up. And like, when you work a job like that, you don't expect much recognition, right? Because it's a manual labor job,
right?
And so I think it's awesome that they did something to honor him, especially because he wasn't working for them when he passed. He had moved on, like he was working at a new job. He was
training at that gym.
But because he had worked there, like he pretty much had worked there almost since they started here in Columbus.
Really?
And then it was only the last 4 or 5 years of his life that he didn't work there. And so I thought that was an awesome thing of them to do. props to 2 Men in a Truck. I mean, I've worked for them in the past. That's why I've used them. And they did an alright job. So, and I took care of the guys. They broke the step, but it wasn't his fault, man. Like,
it's coming out your tip, little
It wasn't even that he was carrying any furniture. Like, it was during the walkthrough. That he just stepped on it and it broke, which tells me those steps are not up to code, and they're definitely not up to code after I fixed that one.
They're definitely not kosher. That's
no kosher steps there.
The dishes may be, but the steps are.
No. I guess my other inadvertent thought is more just an observation moving here. My son has gone to someone that wants to stay in the house pretty frequently, to being like a free range child. Like, since we moved in, he has developed a little group of friends of like 3 neighborhood boys, and he comes.
Wait! These neighborhood boys aren't the same as neighborhood boys.
But there really weren't any kids even on our block though, at the old house.
Right.
There were a couple, and it was a.
So this is new to you, passing out juice boxes.
Absolutely, and dude, you got to remember where I grew up.
Right.
First of all, there weren't a ton of kids, and the kids around that neighborhood, my parents weren't letting me hang out with them.
Right. And you knew the kids that you did hang out with, there wasn't no bullshit. Your parents aren't going to sue if you fall down and hurt yourself.
Exactly.
Now here, I'm sure you have lawyers in the face.
Well, here's the deal, though. It's funny you say that. So, my wife brought up the other day, like, us getting a trampoline for the backyard. And I looked at her and I'm like, no fucking way. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
That's Andrew only.
You know what it is, though?
What?
The house 2 doors down, they have a trampoline. And I'm like...
Send him down there. Exactly. The hell? Why do we need 2 trampolines in the neighborhood? This is a 1 trampoline neighborhood.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
and it belongs to the lawyers.
You got to remember, I never lived in a neighborhood where, like, I hung out with the neighborhood kids. Like, yeah, I had 1 or 2 friends on the block when I was little at my mom's place over on Champion.
Right.
But for the most part, I was friends with, like, you and Shelby and Gordon, you guys. And until we were old enough, we always hung out at your guys' place.
Right.
It wasn't until we were driving and doing stuff that we spent a lot of time at my place.
Right.
And so...
I mean, weekends from time to time.
Time to time, but like...
Not frequent.
Right.
Not as frequent as when you're right. When
right.
We were
and so living in a neighborhood like this now, and he's got like 3 or 4... 1, my wife knew some of the people here. 2, like I said...
How she knows some of them? Oh, because she
teaches in the area. And so... and it's funny, the dude 2 doors down, I actually coached with him at SC.
Coach with who?
It's a guy that was coaching the freshman team when I was a varsity coach at St. Charles.
Oh, you coached with him?
I coached with him at St. Charles. And so it's funny because like he and I know each other, and he's got a son that's a little older than Andrew. Actually, his son is in my wife's class.
Oh, really?
So
good kid? Is he a good kid?
Yeah. And so we moved in, and like literally... Andrew has built-in friends.
Right.
And he's 5 years old, and he comes home at 4 o'clock from school or whatever, and he's gone. I don't fucking see him for 2 hours.
That's great.
No, it is. I think in the end,
especially
it is a good thing.
Being in a neighborhood where you know
he's safe.
I don't have to really watch.
And you know the other parents are watching too. Like everybody, they literally go from 1 yard to the next, and then they come back through, and they just kind of rotate. And if they're in your yard, you look after them. That's pretty much the rule. That's
what they said. It takes a village, and that's what it used to be until
more recently. But no, so this is the first time that I'm experiencing this. 1, I never really experienced it as a kid. 2, this is my first time experiencing it as a parent.
I didn't experience it as a kid. Even when my mom moved me out to Gehenna, I had friends, but they're not coming in my house.
But
I'll come in their house. They're not coming in my house. But that's my whole point,
is you have somewhere where you can go, like, after school. Like, I even know when I used to come over and visit, like, we would hop on our bikes and go bike ride to somewhere in Gehenna.
Right. Well, y'all can come into my house, but I'm saying those kids
but the
can't
general,
come into my house.
But
we're not.
But the freedom to do that, like I didn't have that freedom as a kid growing up, until I had a car. where I could basically
about Gehenna. It's about Gehenna.
But what I'm saying is, like, you and I were doing that at 10, 11, even 12, like before we got to high school at your place. Right. And then when I got my license, like, I had no problem like calling Shelby and saying, "Hey, let's go do something." Right. But it wasn't until middle school or high school that was a thing for me. So it's weird for me, like, seeing
friends home type shit.
Right. It's weird for me seeing Andrew do something at 5 that I wasn't able to do until middle school. But I think it's awesome, to your point. Like, it's good that he's learning how to, like, negotiate and fend for himself with some kids that. There's one that's a little younger, and there's one, like I said, that's in my wife's class, which means 1st, 2nd grade. He's learning how to negotiate with an older kid.
Right.
Like,
I mean, you should, though.
That's a good experience.
Right.
That's good life experience.
You should. See, that's the same. My only concern is the fact that I have a girl. You feel what I'm saying? And she doesn't spend most of her time with me. And let's be honest, the way I was raised and the way her mother was raised are completely different. And then beyond that, the relationships you carry are completely different. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't afford for you to think you can do the same things there as you do here. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And you're not quite old enough. You're smart enough, but you're not old enough to where I think you would retain the information for me to be able to explain to you the difference. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And absolutely. The bottom line is, when somebody does you wrong, I can't afford for you to come home to me asking what you should do. Yeah. If you have to come home to ask me what you should do, well, then you don't need to be out there with those kids anyway. Right. She's older, right? Like, Andrew. She's 10 now, right? And I guess that's what it comes down to, is like, I know she knows what she's capable of, but I'm positive she's never used it before. So she's kind of like, I've had that feeling before. Yeah. Being the kid before boxing came into play and brought that animal out of you that's like, I don't really want to have to hurt you.
And for me, that's...
And I know I can, but I don't want to have to. And I know that's most likely what she's thinking, like, I don't want to put hands on them. But sometimes you have to. And let's be honest, if you feel like you'll hurt them, open your hand. Right. Don't hit them. But I'm not going to be the parent that's like, don't not hit that. If they did something to you, what did we say about Cobra Kai last week? Give them a reason not to again. Right. Yep. That day, first day they did it. You take away
their ability or desire to attack.
You give them a reason not to again. Not only do you give them a reason not to do it to you, you give them a reason to question doing it to somebody else around you. Right. Because I don't know if they may have a problem with that. And the last time I got smacked, so.
Yeah. Well, I think that's actually, so, a couple of things. One, I think that's what's interesting about my son is that he's a big kid.
Right, they're not
They've gotten physical a couple of times, and it's playful. Like, they're playing, and, like, he's literally almost knocked the kid off.
Right, he can't play back the same way.
Right, and I'm talking about he's almost knocked the kid off in 2nd grade. Like, he's bigger than that kid. That kid may have him by an inch or two height-wise. He's about 30 pounds light compared to my son.
Right. Right.
So that's the thing that I think is interesting, because Shar and I have spent so much time talking about how he needs to be careful that he doesn't accidentally hurt somebody, that I'm curious because I've seen him get angry, and I've seen him like that. My Aunt Michelle in Buffalo talks about it as the Reggie Fire. Like, we have a switch,
but I don't know if that's a good thing.
I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying it's something I want to be able to keep an eye out on. Is that he and I both, the Reggie men in general have this. We are, for the most part, chill, laid back, whatever. When that switch flips, it's danger zone. And it's the same, like you were talking about with boxing. For me, that was football, right?
Right.
I did not want to be physical. That was not my style. That was not my thing. When I started playing football, that's when things changed.
Right.
And so for my son, like, it's interesting to watch. Like, I think he is starting to become conscious of, like, he can hurt somebody and not mean to. But my curiosity is when it comes to having to stand up to someone.
Well, you kind of
is
have
he gonna flip like that?
And that's no. That's the thing though. You can't water him down. You feel what I'm saying? You can't put it to the point that he goes through life because these are his.
And who do you think's watering him down?
I already know.
It ain't me.
I already know because these are the years that he's absorbing, right? So if you're telling
my point is, you tell someone 3 times, and after the 3rd time.
Handle your business.
It's over.
Handle your business.
You finish it.
Whatever you feel is necessary, handle your business.
And if someone starts something, you finish it.
Period. My whole thing is the more you're like, well, you're bigger than kids, so you got to watch how you play with them. When they get older, they're like,
not sure what
I can't do me because me may hurt it. No, you need to know that you can.
Right.
And do you know how many bones I broke of kids in St. Catherine's from playing too rough? And it was like, oh, I guess I know next time I can't do that anymore. And I know we can name names.
And I would know them all.
And I can name 2 off tops. I won't name last. Remember Elliot?
Uh-huh.
He was in that arm boy for a while. You remember Tony?
Yes.
In Latchkey, and they had to have the ambulance come into the gym? Yeah, that was a leg. And there's another one that I can't remember the boy's name. How the fuck?
How can you break someone's bones and not know their name? I mean, I guess.
The only reason why I knew Elliot is because we both didn't like him.
No, and that
was a mutual not like.
That was the first time. That was the only time I really got in trouble at St. Catherine's. Was
Tony? I liked Tony. Tony was a friend of mine.
Yeah.
That's why I knew his name. The other
Right.
boy was like I think he was below us.
Okay.
Well, I think both of them were below us.
Yes.
Weren't they a year below
Elliot
us?
was a year below.
And so was
and
Tony,
I think Tony was too, yeah.
I can't think of the other boy's name though.
I don't know, but Elliot was the one time I got in trouble at St. Cat's. I remember it to this day.
We talked about it on his podcast.
Right, yeah. He ran out and said,
and
your mom had a heart attack or some shit.
And you probably realized your strength in that exact moment. You were probably like, oh, I'm not the same as the rest of them.
Right.
And that's what you need. Basically what I'm saying is Andrew's going to have to hurt a kid or 2 to realize, okay, I need to cool out. But you can't tell him that. Because he's not going to learn it on his own.
He does it.
Right.
Otherwise, to your point, he's going to be too tentative.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yep.
And you don't want that.
Which is what I was, honestly.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to push over.
I got told early on, and I think it was because of baseball or some shit, because I fucking truck kids on my way to a base, and I got told, like, you need to be more careful, blah, 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 back off, blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't until I started playing football that I realized
you are
allowed to do it when it's permitted or when you need to.
What I remember one of the situations is maybe the exact situation that you're talking about. We were playing baseball one year, and I think it was 6th or 7th grade, and you were playing catcher, and we were playing. It was an away game. Can't remember the team we were playing. But I remember they were white and navy blue or white and purple.
Navy blue or blue would be St. Pius.
All I know is dude was coming home and you had already, like, they threw the ball into home. You were standing over the plate and he didn't stop and you hit him.
You dropped the shoulder block.
Oh my God. It was a pretty graphic hit. Like the boy took a pretty good blow. And I remember everybody in the crowd like, ooh, and I remember...
you thought he was going to run me over?
That's exactly what he did, but people pulling you off to the side and they talk to you. I don't know what they talk to you about, but I was like, look at him. That might have been what said, let's get him into football. You hear what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that's... I mean, I remember a couple of just little things like that. And you knew me. Like I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to do shit. You saw me get tripped up, or I wouldn't say get my ass whooped, but I took some licks at a Hartley game or two behind the stands or whatever. But it wasn't until
wasn't an ass whooping, but it was that was more of a wrestling match with a couple punches thrown.
Right, and I mean, and it wasn't until I hit like 7th or 8th grade where I finally learned to like
let go. Just let go. You don't have to hold back. Right.
I mean, my mom always tells the story about how when I was like 3 years old and I picked the kid up and I took him to the teacher and said, he's bothering me, and walked away.
I bet you and Andrew are kind of like not on the intelligent side, but like Georges of Mice and Men, like just too big for your own good to know, like break a rabbit's neck if you don't know how to pet it right. That's how I get from y'all. If y'all weren't so smart, you'd be dangerous.
We would, definitely. It's fun.
That's the truth. If y'all weren't so smart, y'all would be dangerous.
You are
for real.
absolutely right. Absolutely fucking right. All right, chiming in on the chat. Let's see what we got. Caleb chimed in about it could be them challenging themselves to get the self-confidence to something sexy on the internet. So in terms of that was going back to the challenge. The challenge conversation.
Oh, okay.
So the challenge is challenging themselves.
No. Well, you know what? I will say to your credit, Caleb, the only reason why I said no is because all the ones they show, of course, are the baddies with the fat ass.
Oh, yeah. No, it's the ones that do look good are the ones that get popular.
There was one of this girl in a wheelchair who did it. And I was like, okay. You know what I mean? Not like, you're bad, but I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that's confidence.
I was worried about where you were going with that.
Come on now. I ain't that ignorant.
I mean, if that's what you're into, but...
Listen. I mean, legs aren't an issue. You probably don't gotta worry about a clinch.
You know,
probably didn't have a good ground game. Is all I'm saying. I'm just playing.
It's funny that you said that because that sends me. Or it's funny.
That's it right there. That I'm just playing. That's what you were talking about.
That's the other one. Yep.
Yep. I do that, huh?
That sparked an inadvertent thought for me around. Pornhub having to basically wipe 75% of their content
for underage shit or whatever.
Right, and it's not even that they were.
That's fucked up.
It's not even that they were convicted of that shit. It was that there was suspicion of it.
Yeah, that's fucked up because
I lost half my porn.
And you know that's the best porn, the amateur porn.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Had this talk before.
Right. That's definitely the best porn, but it's like, what about those amateurs that weren't doing anything wrong at all? That you just took down.
They ain't making money now.
Right, they're already in COVID.
They already moved over to OnlyFans.
They cut a hole in their mask to suck it back in the first place.
Did you see
their unemployment check ain't came through, and now Pornhub taking money out of motherfuckers' pockets.
And honestly, it's not Pornhub's fault. They got accused of some shit.
I get it. And
there's no proof of it, no nothing.
Because that underage shit that's not nothing to play with.
No, it is nothing to play with. And so I'm not...
But at the same time...
But the thing is, you know what's crazy is that they have...
It's the overcorrection. We're in the overcorrection.
It's the overcorrection, and they have more... They do more to validate the age of their... whoever signs up than literally any other site in the world.
And you know what's funny, though? You know what's funny? Because you know what our second runner is.
What's that?
You know what our second runner is. X and XX.
Yes.
Them motherfuckers ain't took shit down. No, they might have even picked up Pornhub. They're like, Pornhub. Come on, we bringing y'all to the XFL.
How many on XNXX? The videos actually start with like the Pornhub community.
Right, that would be funny. Fuck. I bet you'll find a lot more of those now.
Doubt.
I bet you will. Doubt. They about to be cross-compatible, like Xbox and PlayStation on Call of Duty. The porn is cross-compatible now.
Cross-platform playing.
What the fuck?
So I needed to bring that one up. That was my inadvertent thought earlier in the week that I
that's
didn't write
rough.
down.
That's rough, man. That's rough. But like I said, that's the age of overcorrection. Just the allegations are enough for a conviction.
Well, I mean, that's the...
And like I said, once again, don't get me wrong, because underage shit is not to be played with.
No.
But to take money out of people that you know
well, I mean,
are of age.
There was a New York Times article even about women in New York that have OnlyFans accounts that are starting to be able to are not able to pay their bills.
Right.
And it's just like, I mean, you're seeing an increase in amateur porn because there's no jobs out there that are safe in terms of COVID and all that. And it's just like, damn. And now they're cracking down on porn too?
I saw, I don't know where I saw it, but talking about that they now trying to, once Biden gets office, trying to release monthly stimuluses.
Wait, yes.
Did you see that?
I have
Until the whole situation's over?
I actually, no, I hadn't heard monthly. I heard that he was trying to increase the current plan for 600 to 2,000.
No, now they're trying to do, apparently that's supposed to be
honestly,
already in the books. Like, it hasn't been signed off on, but it's supposed to be guaranteed by all parties. Now they're saying what we're trying to do. And this is my whole thing about that is...
Well, if that's the case, then... And I've actually seen...
It's going to be a crack down. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. They're not going to pay you monthly and still let you have all the same rights that you have currently. We were just in this bitch for 10 months with $1,200, and you think that they're about to pay you $1,000 monthly?
But here's the point on that, is that if that comes to pass, then I will buy into... Uncle Dan talking about Biden is going to support the radical left agenda. I think it's interesting that Bernie is now the head of like the budget committee.
Really?
Yes.
That might be a good thing.
Right. And so the radical left might actually like the whole.
I wouldn't have pegged Biden to do that.
No.
I would not have pegged Biden to put Bernie in a position like that. I would have pegged him to give him a position, but I would have thought just to, shut the fuck up, Bernie.
Like on the environment.
Right.
He's the climate change.
Right.
Or the,
like a Condoleezza Rice type.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're just here because you're fitting the quota, right? Shut the fuck up and take that position.
But no, he is like the head of the Senate Budget Committee. So that'll be interesting.
I mean, that fits into what I said. That fits into my plan.
So tell us about your plan.
I've said it a few times now. And I feel like that you can't keep swinging the pendulum. You know what I mean? Like, eventually you need it to stop.
Agreed.
Dead in the middle. And what's happening is...
Well, but you know what the fucked up thing is? Is that the middle was Barack Obama.
Right.
Barack was a very moderate fucking candidate.
Right.
Like, outside of healthcare, and even the healthcare is not what we're talking about now. Now we're talking about Medicare for all, Medicaid for all, whatever. Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, was a very moderate, but that was a very moderate healthcare plan.
Fuck that nigga too, because I definitely remember, and this is right after I went through my whole ordeal with my leg. Mm-hmm. Definitely remember the whole everybody has to get health care thing, but if you don't have a job, you have to apply. I applied, they turned me down.
Got it.
Because I was too high risk because of the condition, because I had scheduled surgeries. I've had scheduled surgeries for this leg since 2008 that I just haven't gotten because I don't have insurance to cover it. You know what I mean? And for you to be like, you have to have it or you get hit on your insurance.
I hear you.
Like I literally had to get a job on a bad leg just to cover the insurance so I don't get a fine on my taxes. Fuck you too.
Right. Well, and that's the difference between Medicare for All and the Affordable Care Act.
You know what I mean? But like I said, it's just that what we're doing is we're just swinging the pendulum back and forth. You feel what I'm saying? But at the bottom line, and this is once again a stutter that I have on this podcast, is that it doesn't matter for people like me, because whether the pendulum is swinging left to right or it's dead in the middle, I still have the same the same
So
lifestyle.
are you telling me though?
I mean?
Are you telling me though that $2,000 a month wouldn't change your lifestyle? Wouldn't change your life?
Definitely would change. That would be more than I get paid by far.
So, but that's my point. Like, so are you telling me that wouldn't change things?
But see, that's.
So you're saying what do you have to give up to get that 2,000 is what you're concerned
Well, I mean,
about.
of course that, but way beyond that, 2,000, and way beyond the whole pendulum talk, the fact that you have the ability to do so, and have had for a while, to pay every American $2,000 while the country is shut down, why can't you just pay people fair wages?
Because in a capitalist society, the government can't control
The
what the private sector is paying, other than increasing the federal minimum wage.
Right.
But you have to understand that's something that Democrats have been pushing for a while. Is we need to up the federal minimum wage, and
Well, see,
I would actually be shocked if that's not one of the things that happens over the next 4 years, assuming we get to Biden in power and all of these armed protests that are planned for the next week don't overthrow our government.
I don't think it's gonna ever. I mean, listen, I definitely think that there could be something in the works, right? I definitely don't think it would be an overthrow of the government
Enough to do that,
right? But I can definitely see it being a spark or an ignition of a civil war.
I mean, well, what does civil war look like in the modern age? Truthfully.
I mean, what I think it looks like is the government. I mean, we've already confirmed.
The problem is that who has control of the government at that point? Do you think it's still Trump at that point, or do you think Biden has control of the government?
Oh, I would think Biden has control of the government,
right.
just
and
because.
So the military backing Biden. Who do you think they're eliminating?
Well, see, this is the thing, because a civil war. The
government has to take sides at some point, though, and we have the biggest military in the world.
Well, see, I understand that, but see, here's the thing, though. A civil war indicates a war within the people. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So the only way the government could help in that situation is if the government has to pick a side. Pick a side and distribute people to the specific places that need it in that situation. You feel what I'm saying? But when I say a civil war, I don't think it's going to be a war on the Capitol. It's going to happen in neighborhoods.
But I also think that that's where I think, so the armed protests that are planned at basically every state capital.
Right.
Are you telling me that the National Guard can't put down a couple thousand tops Trump supporters that are armed?
Yes, at the Capitol. Yes, at the Capitol, yes.
But I'm not talking about the capital of the United States. I'm talking about state capitals.
Well, even state.
Because DeWine has activated the National Guard here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Even state. But if your main focus is to go to war and you can't attack the Capitol, what's your next move? Do you just go home and pack it up?
But who are they attacking then? Like, the whole point is that there is a...
Well, who are the rioters attacking when George Floyd happened? Who were they?
But they didn't attack anybody. That was kind of the point.
Right, but they did damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, when you have people on the other side with more rights, more arms, what do you like?
But I mean, what? I guess my point there is, what does it benefit them at that point? And I'm saying this as a white dude, so like, if you're saying they're just going to go after black,
no, I don't
minorities,
think. I don't.
all
listen,
of that.
I don't think.
That's where I'm not sure what you're saying. Like, them going after me does them no good, because what does that get them? Nothing. Nobody fucking cares.
I don't think it would be when I say a civil war, I don't think it would be a situation where black on white. By no means would I ever think.
So
it would
what
be
is
a
the
black
target
on white.
of what's the rights target if it's not government institutions?
Here's the funny thing about the current situation that we're in is that anything could be a target. You feel what I'm saying? You got people storming a Capitol talking about we don't want Trump leaving office, And then you got other people talking about that was Antifa that stormed the Capitol.
Which was complete and utter bullshit.
Right, but
FBI
we already went through that. You got people working under you that are eating
burnt oranges.
Right. You feel what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, if I know that I feel that strongly about something, right? And I can't attack the Capitol. I can't attack the state Capitol. I can't attack the nation's Capitol. But I can assume that Antifa is behind something and BLM is Antifa and this is BLM's headquarters, or this is, you know what I mean? Like,
but
there's so many.
I think that's what, and you and I have talked about this in the past.
And I'm just using BLM as
a
example because that was
yeah.
the number one thing they said is that's Antifa right there. But it's like, well, wait, are they BLM or are they Antifa?
The
concept, or could they be both?
But the concept of Antifa in general, that is a far right ideological thing that the mainstream media, for whatever, picked up on.
Right.
It
doesn't mean that it's true.
It's not a thing.
Right. And now are you following me?
I hear you.
And now are you following me when I say the burnt oranges and all this shit like that? It's not. You don't have a target. You don't have a target.
Agreed, but that's
other than what you claim
individual.
Is that target.
I hear you on that.
I can say you're Antifa. Now you're my target.
Right.
Just because
Which is what Hitler did with, that's what Hitler did with the Jews.
that's what I see as a civil war. I don't see it being black and white. I see it being as you are this, I am that, and then we go at it. Because it's only a matter of time when we let people like the Capitol rushers, because this was, like I said, this was just a warning. We know they're capable of doing a lot more than that.
See,
now, at that specific area, no. At the Capitol, no. But how can you say there aren't?
You mean at the individual level?
I mean,
as individual bad actors.
I don't even just
they're
mean
not
at an
organized.
individual.
That's the thing. They're
well,
not
well,
organized.
they have to be somewhat to make it as far as they did. There's no way they would have made it as far as they did.
Fair.
If there weren't people in the actual protective that didn't allow that to happen.
Completely agree. The Capitol Police and DC Metro, they were
talking about senators were in there.
Agreed. They were giving them walkthroughs of the fucking Capitol building.
So what I'm saying is when you see something like
this. But I
this,
think that's the thing, is that was a very targeted thing. I don't think they have enough coordination to do that at a national level. I think that was
well, no,
everybody that was buying in. I'm going to go do that at the Capitol.
No, I'm not thinking that by any means, that everything just happens like at 9:05 on February the 2nd. But what I'm saying is, when you have enough, you feel what I'm saying? Because the bottom line is, we have enough security on the internet that something could have been flagged to stop the communication from all those people from all those different places.
Doubt. And you're starting to see
the fact that it wasn't lets you know that somebody that controls that allowed that to happen. Which means that it's much deeper than just the surface value.
What I think, here's my take. My take is nobody thought the threat was credible. They were aware of the threat. They knew that there was chatter. They didn't think it was credible until
I think that's just your contingency plan. I think that's just a contingency plan. I apologize. I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think that it was real.
Fair. And I think that there were enough Trump supporters that had been appointed in the Capitol that's how that happened. Meaning, there are enough at DOD, there are enough at the Pentagon, there are enough in the Capitol Police, there are enough in DC Metro that had been appointed by Trump and his officials that were sympathetic. I don't know that you would see that at a national scale.
No, I don't think it would be, but like I said, remember we talked about long ago that Mandalorian episode or whatever it was. We talked about the art and how the art describes.
Yeah,
how
we were talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn.
We're not dealing with the government right now. We're not dealing with them.
Yeah.
The art that we're dealing with isn't even graffiti. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's not even that. It's not even a mural.
No, it's a Confederate flag.
You feel what that's what I'm saying. It's below graffiti. You feel what I'm saying? And we already established that urban art is guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
So what's below guerrilla warfare with people that have more supplies?
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be on a national level. If you have something pop off in February here and here, and some pop off in March here and here, and that. Listen, that's how serial killers happen, because something happens and people see it and admire it, and then they start copycatting, and it's like, that's not even the same two killers, but just because we got so many people that admired them, it looks as if they're all connected. Well, and that's what I see the Civil War happening, like, not like we're all strategically going to strike at one point. It never works like that. Yeah. It doesn't even work like that when it's countries against each other.
Right.
So to be a civil neighborhood societal war, it would never go down like that. Nobody would ever know when it was going to take place, because now I don't have to send a message over the internet. Buddy lives 2 blocks down, and his friends live 2 blocks from him. All we got to do is keep sending the message down across the line in person, and we've strategized an attack on this specific area.
Right. Well, and I mean, that's.
I mean, God forbid it doesn't happen, but I can see it.
No, and I mean, the examples of domestic terrorism that we've seen on that front have been, to your point, to date, they've been very much single actors. They haven't been coordinated attacks between multiple groups. So we've seen, whether it was Dylan Roof in Aurora or whoever who's
Batman,
done like Las Vegas,
Pink hair.
So to your point, like there is a threat there. I think what's interesting is my hope is that this is where we start identifying white terrorists and extremists.
I don't think we're going to
as domestic terrorists. I would say that the FBI has already made it clear that they are, and I'm not saying that they're going deep enough, but that's where we're at right now.
This position. Oh, I'm sorry.
You just up and walking away. Cliff bailing on me and everything. So because Cliff isn't here, I win the argument. You know, it wouldn't be a Do Fools Agree episode if one of us didn't just abandon the other to run the show by themselves for a couple minutes. So with all of that, I am actually going to do the same thing that my buddy is doing, and we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. And we're actually talking about possibly opening up the phone line. So if you're interested in calling into the show for the second hour, I'm going to pop up on the screen a number for anybody that wants to call in, and we'll do that coming out of the break. So again, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and right after that, we'll be back with more Do Fools Agree. Appreciate all of you. welcome back to Do Fools Agree. Got Cliff over here texting. Who you texting?
Listen, oh no, I wasn't. I was just.
You hollering at somebody? Holla.
Get that up out of me. I didn't know if I was drinking beer or piss.
I mean, I understand. You know, next time we could like schedule a quick little break. Like, you know, I do that for you. I say, hey, Cliff, you want to run the show for a minute, or you want to take a quick 5-minute break?
Listen,
I give you that courtesy instead of just abandon. You leave me in the trenches taking grenades, John.
Sometimes you gotta dive on them grenades. You hear me? Cause
goodness gracious!
Hard floors. The audience would hear that. Up in the crow's nest, I might have been able to pull that off.
I think you just got tired of talking about politics and said, "Fuck it, I'm walking away."
You know what? That was actually. I'm not gonna lie. When I was up there in the bathroom thinking that I got out of that conversation, didn't I? I'm not gonna say that thought didn't pass my mind because that definitely was the case.
Oh man. So what are we gonna talk about? Can we come back to the Bills and how good the Bills are? Can we talk about the Bills?
You can talk about your Bills. I mean,
we could just boom. I mean, don't be jealous that the Raiders didn't even make the playoffs. So
I didn't want them to.
The Bills won their first playoff game in 25 fucking years.
I told you, I don't even want Derek Carr back out on the field. So every game he's in, I want to lose.
My son, of the 5 years that he's been alive, the Bills have made the playoffs 3 times. How about that? The majority of my son's life, the Bills have been a playoff contender.
A first round playoff contender?
Shut up. The second round now.
A first round
Their second round tonight, or this week.
Contender.
That's the whole reason I wanted that the screen we got upstairs, man. I can't wait to watch that game tomorrow night.
You did say it was Saturday, didn't you?
It is.
And it's the Ravens?
Yep. And we are making it even better, so one of Char's friends sent us a pizza from Buffalo, and then we ordered Anchor Bar wings, which I don't know if you know Anchor Bar. Anchor Bar is like one of the 2 that claims to be the originator of Buffalo wings.
Really?
So
I've heard about
We've
them.
got a set of 50 wings coming tomorrow night for the game, being shipped from Buffalo overnight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
You might have to save me
You want to come over and watch the game?
I might have to.
Just for the Buffalo wings?
You know what? Just to make it interesting, I might have to bet you 20 on the Ravens.
Oh, I'll take that bet. I'll do 20.
I think you'll win it though, but I think I still might.
I think Lamar doesn't know how to run in the snow. Is what I think.
Is it snowing tomorrow?
It's a polar vortex going on, man.
Is it?
Buffalo about to be.
Now, if you think a nigga don't know how to
Try to get shit done.
Now, if you think a nigga don't know how to run in the snow, you are. Listen. You hear what I'm saying? Listen, we had to get to the north, baby. We wasn't sliding back down a hill. You hear what I'm saying?
Goodness gracious.
Cleats wasn't made back then. Them was burning.
Hey, you can grab your headset. Look like we might have a guest joining us.
Oh, shit.
Ah, shit. This fucking guy.
Oh, it's a guy?
Well, I don't know if he counts as a guy.
FB? F Bizzles? I knew that was F Bizzles.
Oh, man. We'll give him a second to join. Maybe remember how to do all this stuff.
He probably gonna have a wine glass in his hand.
Yeah. The king is in effect. Show wasn't popping. Prime time is here. Had to spruce it up a little bit.
Is that a microphone?
How we doing tonight, ladies?
Is that a microphone?
Cool.
He looks like he's professional.
Oh, he's ready. Are you ready for this action?
Yeah.
Oh, my guy's ready for this action.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the guy that was quote unquote too sick to join us like last week and the week before, right? Okay.
He's a sucker, but listen.
Just making sure.
He said he tried to get his analyst on, so he got all his shit together.
I mean, I appreciate it.
He looking mad
If
professional.
you're gonna try to join the fools, then you better be professional about it. So
I said, new year, new headset, new microphone.
I know that's right. Listen, we was just talking about it before the show popped off. So I don't know if you got time afterwards. You may want to stick around.
Oh, I do. I don't listen.
You
know my
Indy?
situation, Mike. Yeah, you know my situation, Cliff. Mike, I haven't told you yet. Listen, they let me go on Monday due to lack of ability in their eyes for performance. So
That's
I have nothing but time.
Oh,
listen,
I'm sorry to hear
but on to the next. Hey, on to the next. Look, I filed for unemployment 15 minutes later and got approved. So
right, that's great. What are you talking about?
We've got something coming.
We talked about this. We talked about this. You're gonna get 100%. Period. And they've already extended it through July, so you're good at least through July unless you find something. So let's not act like we're not being blessed around here. We're being blessed. Everything's happening for a reason right now.
Right, no doubt. And I mean, if it
I wish they would do that to me. I would make more money, honestly, if they did that to me now than me working there busting my ass.
Man, yeah, it was some damn. Hold up. I'm over here trying to clean up this wax to get on my case. Apparently, sister-in-law's
kind of
wax melt. God, she got one of them wax melts, and I try to set the iPad case up here.
Oh, okay.
I looking. Yeah, man. Other than that, I'll mess with that later. But anyways, what's going on with y'all though? How y'all feeling?
We doing all right. I'd be doing better if you weren't walking around while you talking to us.
Man, listen.
Yeah, Mike motion sickness.
Listen, let me prop this up somewhere that's less accident prone, and then
there you go. Do what you got to do.
We'll be all right.
Yo, real quick, I got to shout out my man, former player of mine, Nikhil, out in the chat. What up, Quilly Billy?
Oh, is that the defensive end?
No, Nikhil was our running back that I think.
Oh, he was in that song.
Yes, he was. Put up like 3 touchdowns on DeSales the year we beat them. What was the lyric?
That's what I was trying to remember. Damn, that was
I'm
so
blanking
long
on
ago.
it too. It was a minute. But
Damn,
Nikhil,
but good to have you, young brother.
Nikhil was a phenomenal running back for us, and he should have played some defense too. But he was a great running back.
And y'all would have let him too, because I know y'all was bums on the.
Oh,
listen, I was always an Iron Man, baby, both ways.
No doubt.
Hey, Mike.
Always, once I got to the lighter areas, they
I hear you.
like my style of play.
What you got, Mal?
I got $20. It says Action Jackson's gonna send them bills packing.
I only take one bet at a time.
I just told him the same thing.
Cliff got there first.
Hey. Well, listen. If Cliff changed his mind, I'm just saying it's just a listen. That's just a spoiler alert.
Okay.
That's just a spoiler alert. Because I'll tell you what, Mike, and Bill showed me something against them Colts, man. Y'all beat the Colts.
Here's my problem is that we lost our running back against the Colts. We lost the real running back like the first play of the game or his first carry of the game. The problem is the Bills have treated Singletary as our primary back. He's not our primary.
Right,
back.
but he ain't bad.
Zach Moss is a better back. By far.
I agree.
But hold on though. According to Madden, Devin Singletary is one of the top 10 running backs in the league, Mike.
Fuck that though.
That's because he's gotten more time to build up his stats this year though.
And I think
right.
Real time.
Right. And I think that he's a Pro Bowler too. I think he might be. I could be wrong.
No,
I think he might be a Pro Bowler.
He's not that good of a back. He's not that good of a back. He really isn't. Zach Moss
good.
No,
he would
really
be able
not.
I think he would be able to start
He's
somewhere
a good
else.
back. He
is
could
not,
for sure.
No. Zach Moss
Cliff.
is so much better than he is.
I'm not saying that. I agree with you there, but I'm not saying that Singletary would be able to start somewhere else.
He could start.
Show me Singletary's highlights versus Zach Moss's.
Well,
let me ask you this, Mike. And why isn't Zach Moss? Why isn't he?
Well, because Zach Moss is a rookie. That's the only reason he's not starting over Singletary.
Oh no, that's not true. There's plenty of rookies that start. Saquon Barkley started his rookie year.
Well,
there's something that isn't shown on the field that's causing that then because he is a better back.
And Mike, like I always tell you, and I even text you this and tell you on Facebook. Once again, you're welcome because you know where your coach comes from. Matter of fact, I was very excited. Listen, I was very excited to watch the Buffalo Colts game because both of their head coaches were on the Philadelphia Eagles championship winning team.
Staff.
And they're great, and they're great coaches.
I mean,
So
McDermott has done nothing but great things with the Bills. I mean, he's been there, 4 years, and he's been to the playoffs 3 times. That's insane.
He's killing it. Now, Cliff, your Raiders, I mean, come on now. We already know how, since the 80s, how they've been.
Doing what they're doing. My Raiders and my Cavs are doing exactly what they should be
Matter
doing.
Matter of fact, hold on. I'm so glad you brought up the Cavs.
Yep, we got Jared Allen. And Tyshawn Prince.
Last time I checked,
not
when I looked
Tyshawn,
earlier,
I'm thinking a dude from Detroit. What the fuck is his name?
Oh, okay, never mind. Y'all beat the Knicks by 3 points barely tonight. Y'all were about to lose tonight. I was going to text you and harass you, but y'all pulled it away by 3.
We in the playoffs as of now.
Listen,
what are we, like a weekend?
Right, thank you.
No, we got we 13 games in?
That's like the Browns saying after the first week that they're in. Which, by the way, how about the Browns?
Listen, Cleveland has already damn near almost gotten to more than half of their wins from last year in the first 13 games. What are you talking about?
Listen, Cleveland is a good team. I was very impressed with Cleveland. They are a good team.
They, like I said before, Baker's a lot better than everybody was giving him credit for.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I was praying that he would be because if I have to watch, what is he? Is he State Farm? If I had to watch any more fucking State Farm,
Progressive. No, it's Progressive.
Is he
Progressive?
I
think.
I was saying that from the beginning of this NFL season that I would rather have Baker Mayfield than Derek Carr. And I'm so glad that he proved everything that I said correct once again.
Listen, Baker Mayfield's the truth. Listen, without Odell Beckham, what do y'all think's gonna happen to Odell Beckham? Listen, if it's me, trade him. You don't need him. You're out.
Yeah,
You're done.
He's gone. He's gone.
You know what?
He's gonna have to be a Raider.
No.
I mean, honestly, that'd be the only team that'll take him.
No, that's not true. Because you know who would take him? And
Miami, maybe.
No, who would take him and straighten him out?
Who?
Is a
Philly would.
Belichick Patriots team.
No, they wouldn't.
I don't think that ever worked.
No, they wouldn't.
I don't think that
ever
Yes,
worked.
they would.
No, they
did
wouldn't.
it with
No, they
Moss.
No, they wouldn't. Because that's different.
Randy Moss?
Different.
Yes.
That's
Nothing
different.
was wrong with Randy Moss. Randy Moss knew what he was.
Listen, yeah.
Which was the best wide receiver in the league, and people weren't respecting him as so.
And
right.
You don't think Odell would?
No, Randy Moss changed the wide receiver position.
You can't even compare.
Odell just has a couple pretty catches.
You can't compare the two. Yeah, Mike, it's no comparison. Let's Randy
be 100%. Moss made the toe tap.
True, the toe tap wasn't a thing until
Randy Moss.
Randy
Moss was the original throw it up anywhere, I'll get to it.
Which is why it's called mossing someone.
Right.
I was getting ready to say, why do we use that moniker? You don't hear them.
You don't say Odell somebody.
What do you do?
If they Odell somebody, that means they punch a net on the sideline and get clapped back and they shit.
No, that's not true, because the Odelling somebody is mossing somebody one fucking handed bringing it in.
Why do we see so many tight ends doing that nowadays?
We're
seeing tight ends doing that, but I don't see tight ends doing what Randy Moss did. Going up, like he's literally, you can throw it up in the end zone. But
Randy Moss
field goal post high, and he's jumping up to the bottom of the hash to catch that ball.
All right. I'll back off.
Randy Moss is a freak of nature. I mean, he's still. The
whole reason why I wasn't trying to dick ride Randy Moss, I was just trying to say that the NFL disrespected Randy Moss Randy Moss
did.
knew what he was and was like, well, how are y'all treating me like
Yeah,
this?
I get you.
So when he got to Belichick, it wasn't a straighten me out. It was I never needed straightening. I just needed somebody to acknowledge how good I was.
What I was.
And that's what Belichick
Which he got,
did.
And
what
let
he
me-
got with Tom
Right.
and Belichick.
Well, and let's be honest.
Uh-oh.
Was who it was, because it's the
said
same
what?
constant in
cutting
Tampa
out.
Bay.
You
It was Tom Brady.
You were cutting
That's it.
out. Mouth.
Can you hear me?
I got you
Can you
now.
hear me?
Restart
Yeah.
that sentence. Restart that conversation.
Okay. I said that spoiler alert right here. You gave me a point, Cliff. It wasn't Belichick. What's the one constant? Why is Antonio Brown still in the league and why is he doing fine? It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady that these guys respect, that they play better with. Because to your point, Cliff, Randy Moss, that's a proven fact. Because what happened to?
I feel like you two are arguing two different things now. I feel like
I'm not arguing anything at this point.
Well, I feel like originally Mike's point was Moss was kind of a wild horse, a mare, and went to Belichick, and Belichick got him in line. And you're saying that it wasn't Belichick, it was Brady. But my whole thing is nobody got him in line at all. He was good with the Vikings. He was good with Chris Carter. Chris Carter was the man, and Randy Moss came and was like, sit down, please, Chris.
Right.
You don't never see that happen. And then Chris Carter went on to a different team and still had a great career. So it's like Randy Moss was the Allen Iverson of the wide receiver position.
I think that's a good analogy.
It looks like Allen Iverson is a wild child, but truth be told, I have to do everything myself. And you're talking to me about practice?
We talking about practice?
And I gotta do everything myself, and you're talking to me about practice? I get that. Like that's the narrative of the country. That's a wild black man right there. No, that's a misunderstood black man that feels like I'm not getting what I'm worth or deserve.
All right.
And anytime anybody feels like that, it's gonna be a problem.
It's gonna come out maybe in a negative way.
Right.
Fair enough.
But that's where we are.
But anyways, so the Bills are going to beat the Ravens this week, and then it's going to be Bills-Browns for the AFC title, and then we're going to have the Bills versus the Buccaneers for the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this, Mike. No, not at all.
I called the Bills-Bucks for the Super Bowl.
Not at all. Not at all. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Packers, and I'm willing to
Get the fuck out of here.
Come on now. But listen. What two other Well, hold on. Right. And what other two quarterbacks are going to outplay somebody such as Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes? Those are probably
that's what I'm saying.
Those are the two best quarterbacks in the league. Name two other better quarterbacks than them right now.
You trying to bring out the sports podcast
Josh Allen.
You trying to bring out the sports
podcast
now.
No. Mike.
Because that's the thing. That's the thing. You just said it. There's no two better quarterbacks. But right now, we're in the era of the NFL the same as when Steph Curry took off in the NBA.
So
we're
doing the equivalent of what 3-pointers
are. We want you to run up points in the NFL and in the NBA right now. So it looks as if your quarterback would need to be the number one player on your team, which I do not agree with.
No.
I do not agree.
Stephon Diggs needs to be the number one player on your team.
You need your wide receivers. You need your wide receivers and your running backs. You need your skill positions at their best.
Which is why I've got nervousness.
And a decent quarterback can get it done, i.e. Nick Foles in the Philadelphia Eagles. You had great skill positions, a decent quarterback that could get it to them, and they ended up winning.
Which is why I'm nervous about the Bills just having Singletary and not having Zach Moss.
Right.
That's the only thing that gives me pause
Ohio State
about
against Alabama.
Right.
You take that one hit the first play of the game, and it's nothing. You have nothing else.
Cliff, I'm gonna get to you on that. I'm glad you brought that. Let me finish what I was gonna say. Then I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it about your Buckeyes. So, so that brings us to my point, Mike. Is it that Josh Allen is a good quarterback, or is it that Stephon Diggs is clearly complimenting him making him appear better than he really is.
So what I will say is that while Stephon has had an NFL leading season,
Josh is a good.
First of all, Josh had to get the ball to him. Second of all, Josh makes Cole Beasley look good.
Right.
And third of all, they distribute the ball so well on the Bills. The Bills
is a good quarterback.
In that win last week, they had, I think, 5 receivers that were over 30 or 40 yards receiving.
Right.
You know, Josh.
But put it this way, but Cliff, let me go back to your point. So Dante Culpepper, was it that Dante was a good quarterback, or was it that he had the Randy Mosses and Chris Carters that complimented him and made him look better than he really was?
Well, no, he was not.
He was a mid-tier quarterback at best.
We found out exactly how under mid-tier he was when they traded him to Miami.
Right.
So my whole point is if you take away Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs, what do you think happens to Josh Allen? What's already happened to Josh Allen before Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs?
I think he still has a 500 season.
He's a Derek Carr. That's what will happen to him. He's a Derek. Listen, Derek Carr has
he's not at all.
Wait. You're saying that about Josh Allen? Josh Allen,
Derek Carr.
They had 10 wins last season without Stephon Diggs.
So hold on. Do y'all think Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the
yes.
NFL?
Right now.
Absolutely not. I'll name 5 quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Listen, I'll name 5.
No,
Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know if I would say that.
Cliff,
I would say
Aaron
currently
Rodgers.
he's playing as one, but if we factor in everything, not at all. Not at all. There's hella quarterbacks before him. He's having a great season, but there's hella quarterbacks before him.
Okay, Mike.
don't agree
Mike,
with
I'll name 6 or 7 right now. Aaron Rodgers.
Clearly.
Tom Brady.
Clearly.
Patrick Mahomes.
Clearly.
Deshaun Watson is amazing.
Leave him out. Leave him out. You can go. You can argue Drew Brees.
Yeah, Drew never can count out Drew Brees.
You can argue Drew Brees.
How can you argue this season when Stephon Diggs is the leading fucking receiver in the NFL?
Right. And that's what I said. I said he's having a good season.
Thank you. I agree with Cliff.
One good season does not make you a top 5 quarterback.
Thank you.
He's also
Lamar
in his third year?
Right, exactly. So you could have 3 good seasons. Doesn't make you a top 5 quarterback. The only reason Mahomes is because he's had 2 great seasons in an NFL championship.
Mahomes is amazing.
Other than that, Mahomes would still be up for debate. But the fact that you've gotten it done in those 3 seasons and the other seasons aside from that were great seasons as well, you got to put him up there. That's why he got that payday.
And Cliff, I'll even say this, and you know about this because she's in your division. Who I'm getting ready to say is in your division. You know him very well. Mike, I would take Justin Herbert over Josh Allen. Justin Herbert has no weapons. Has no weapons. And Justin Herbert has been lighting the NFL up.
Josh Allen has as many fucking rushing touchdowns as Cam Newton did in his first 3 years.
Josh Allen's been in the league for 3 seasons, you said. Justin Herbert's rookie year, he was already putting up numbers. Already on a trash team. Trash team. I
see what you're saying, but it's the same argument, Malk. You can't give it to him off of 1 season. You can't give it to him off of 3 seasons. You know
that's the argument you're making about Josh right now. So yeah,
right, that's what I said. So you can't give it to. Now, while I will say that Herbert out of Oregon is very impressive.
He's a monster.
He's impressive. But what did we say about Mahomes? Yeah, you had a great first season, but now that people know how you play and they got a chance to coach for you, we'll see what you do. And he showed out again, and then the next year he won the Super Bowl.
But the difference is, Cliff, Mahomes is already on a great team from the jump. Justin Herbert came into a terrible team.
Now you're right. But at the same time, let's see if you do that in the next 2 years. Now, in the next 2 years, if you complete the same shit, then I'll say you might have passed Josh Allen if Josh Allen didn't contribute for the Bills the same way he has been. But we cannot at this point say in 1 year he's that because it's just 1 year.
Right.
And Mike, I would put Baker Mayfield in front of Josh Allen. Baker Mayfield.
No fucking way.
I don't think I would.
Ability.
I don't think
Get
I
the
would.
fuck
would.
out of here,
I love Baker,
No.
but I don't think I would.
Malcolm's
I
about
would
to get
much-
booted from the show.
I would
I'm about
much-
to kick Malcolm off the show.
I would much rather
Get the
have
fuck out of here.
Josh than Baker.
Mike. But listen, I said it because Baker and Mike.
Listen, Baker will hit the folks,
Josh-
and
wait.
Josh Allen will say nigger, and I'll still take Josh over Baker.
Josh has
You're lying through
Josh
your fucking
Allen
teeth.
has-
You're
I will.
lying.
taken
take
the
that.
Bills to 3 playoff games. That is a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in 10, almost 15 years. The first time he took them, actually it was 15 years. It was 15 years. And then before that, he won a playoff game for the first time in 25 years for the
Right.
franchise.
Right. No, he's
Okay.
he's a good quarterback, but
But Mike, did
Not
you
really top
watch? Did you watch
five.
Baker's? Did you watch Baker's performance against the Steelers though?
Fuck
did
Baker.
you watch that quick 28?
I did.
he is great. He is
But
great.
one game, like,
Baker, listen.
He
I
has
love
that it
his-
factor.
No, it's not one game. Thank you, Clint.
He has that it
listen,
factor.
Baker,
He will get it done.
Baker is
He
thank
will
you.
get it
He's
done.
co-
If you put
he's
it on
cocky,
my
he's-
shoulders, I'll get it done.
Yeah, we'll get it done. And the thing is, Cliff, he's like the 2.0 version of Manziel. Because Manziel would
That's
talk
exactly
the talk,
what
walk
he
the
is.
walk.
That's exactly what he is.
Baker will talk the talk and walk the motherfucker.
That's
walk.
exactly what he is.
So,
he is
I like that.
He's the correct Manziel draft, is what he
right,
is.
exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Right.
And he's panning out to be a little better than what we expected him to be. I
Right.
myself can see potential in motherfuckers. So when I seen him last year, I was like, damn, why can't they let him go? Why can't we pick him up? Type shit. So then when motherfuckers was talking about the Raiders,
Oh.
because remember there was that one year, it was that one year where they was talking the same shit they was talking about Manziel about Baker. Talking about he's not producing
They
enough.
were.
And I was just thinking, just let him go and let us get him. The Raiders always pick up the most controversial players and end up making them a name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I said
Yeah.
Odell, it would be the perfect place for Odell because you're controversial. We enjoy controversial players. Carr doesn't have the keys to the car. No
Right,
pun
no pun
intended.
intended.
You feel me? So you can come in here and be like, this is my team. Fuck you, Carr. Just throw it
Right.
to me. I'll catch it.
Right. But see, here's the thing, Cliff. It's just that, and Mike, I'm sure you would agree, it's just Odell's just injury prone. And I think that for any player, like Derrick Rose until recently, right?
It
like,
was just that
I
one
think
injury. Yep, you're right, though. You're right. With Derrick Rose, it was just that one injury that just reoccurs over and you can't get past it.
Yeah, and I think that's just his problem. So I think to your point, Cliff, is like, I'm not saying he can produce on the Raiders. It's just that, can he stay
wouldn't
healthy?
be-
You know what I mean?
Right.
Can he stay
And
healthy?
Raiders
you
play
know?
you hard. Raiders play you
Right.
like Tom Thibodeau. Like you're gonna,
Especially
you're,
John Gruden.
Right. You can get an injury playing for the Raiders.
Right.
They're gonna run you to
But
the
no-
dirt.
I want to rile you up, Mike, because I know you're hype about your Bills and your
Yeah,
passion
fuck
right now.
Mike,
so I-
rile
This is
him
the
up.
first
I just
time
wanted to
in
talk some shit.
25 fucking
Look, Cliff.
years.
Fuck him, rile him
Mike turning
up.
red. Look, Mike turning almost as red as them doors in the background at his new house. I got Mike turning red over there. That's all I wanted to do.
He
Is
said
get
you
him
looking
turning
What
red.
like
doors?
the-
What are we talking about?
Are those
You look like the
red
cowboy,
doors?
the cowboy
The
kickers.
cowboy,
Yeah.
the saloon doors that we got here in the basement. All right, fair enough.
Listen, I'm gonna bring a pack of beer over with you and Cliff over one weekend.
I mean, honestly, at this point, if you got,
He
I
in
mean,
Indy.
you are. Well,
I've got time.
He's
I
gonna
mean,
say
I'm
come
out of town. I'm out of town.
He in Indy.
I wasn't saying come tomorrow. I was gonna say like come join
I'll be
the
back next
show.
All right.
Malk,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
still
Listen.
living here? I mean, I know you're in Indy. That you go to Indy every weekend. Or are you just gonna move back
Every
there?
other weekend. No, I'm not. Listen, hell no.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Then fucking.
I'm not. Cliff's been to where I'm at. I'm not moving here. If I wasn't moving, it wouldn't be.
So I think we
Cliff knows where
got.
I'm at.
I think we got what? We got Travi coming on next week.
Is he? Is he coming on?
And then who we got after that? Anybody?
I'm trying to get Mike Brown on the show, Cliff, but he'd be asleep somewhere and shit. So
I want to get
Old
him
ass
on my
Raiders.
pops.
By the time
Yeah,
we get
yeah,
to February, we should be starting the sports show. So
Oh, that reminds
What
me
you
because
doing
Mike's
next
on
year, or what you doing next week? Even
next
with
year.
Travis
Listen,
on, it's not
yeah,
like
right.
you don't-
Like we've got 2 mics and
I'm-
we've got another camera. Like we could do.
I'll be in town. I'll be home. I'm
I
unemployed.
mean, it's
Look,
not
I'm
like
free.
we
I'm
all
free.
aren't. We know each other. It's not like Travis would be upset if you were on the show with him talking about his CD.
So what I would say
Yeah.
is
Plan for
we've
that.
got 2 other mics and we've got at least 1 camera I can get if we need 2 cameras, but I can put them both on the same camera. That doesn't bother me.
I'll
So,
definitely join.
We got
I
the
know
couch
that.
over there. They could each be on opposite ends of the
That's
couch.
why we got. That's why we got to
6 feet
start
away.
making money off this bitch, so we can get it in a studio where we can smoke in that bitch.
Right, but
Instead
listen.
of just the vape.
Right, like 85 South Show. It really just be kicked back on some chill shit.
No, Mike, because then Cliff would be asleep on the couch. He wouldn't even be part of the
no.
show.
No doubt.
Not at all. That would be my level. That's my level.
Right.
Cliff, get out of here, Cliff. That ain't your level. I done seen you down plenty of times off the smoke.
Maybe off of all alcohol or all
Smoke
weed,
and drink.
but never
smoke and
both.
drink. Never both.
Never both. You don't see that.
No, I'm definitely. Hey, but since obviously I'm on here with y'all, kind of a side note.
What
Did
you
y'all
got?
get a chance to figure out the network? Remember the ideas about expanding?
Not the network,
Network.
the name, but we'll talk about
And
that.
that's fine. I say that's not.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Okay.
later. 'Cause I don't want to give up too much.
Because you didn't bring up
Online.
you didn't bring up your inadvertent thought that we had discussed on our random phone call last week.
Yeah, I did. You just
Did
don't
you bring it
listen.
up?
You're not a real fan.
I
That's why
did.
you're
I did. I'm
you're
not a
part
real
of the
friend.
Sport shit. You're not a
I
part
did.
of.
I did.
He said friend.
Uh-huh.
Nobody give a fuck about friendship. I said fandom, motherfucker. I said you
Oh,
ain't a real
fandom.
fan.
Get out of here. I probably missed 2 minutes of the show.
Well,
I've
clearly
been
you
on-
missed
I've
more
been
than
on
that if you asking me about.
No, hold on, because the first part of the show, y'all was talking about some sexual shit that had came up or whatever.
That
And
wasn't
y'all were
until
like,
like half an hour in, dude.
That was what you're talking about, dummy. He's talking about anal when Caleb said you're talking about anal.
Oh,
That was the
last
inadvertent
week.
thought.
Gotcha.
Okay.
That
okay.
wasn't he wasn't no sexual.
It wasn't sexual to begin with.
And automatically assumed that was what we were talking about.
Okay.
He didn't watch and don't know what he watching.
Well, listen, you might be right. Look, you might be right. Hey, y'all
Listen.
seen that? Y'all seen that Winter Storm Malcolm? Y'all hear about that? Winter
Oh
Storm called Malcolm
no,
that's been hitting?
no.
Oh, I know it's gonna be real white.
Let-
It's gonna be a real white
Damn.
storm.
I can't stand you.
Light
I can't stand you.
storm.
Hey, I said, listen, I said, Chase Bank better give out an apology or something. I said, all of a sudden they let me go on Monday. Now, Winter Storm Malcolm's coming apparently on CNN. I said, man,
Listen.
they done started something they wasn't ready for.
Well, hopefully it hits Polaris, huh?
Look, you're right.
Hey,
look.
Likely what
And
I
it was
talking
funny 'cause
about.
I had to return my my monitor that was broke. They don't know it yet, and I was just letting them if they want to say something. It
So
doesn't appear broke, but if you turn it on, like it's like a little
you
line.
see
on
the
the monitor.
pixel missing.
Yeah,
it's,
right.
It's funny you say that. So, Cliff's giving me shit about my Johnny Carson desk over here, and the chair that I'm sitting in is my office chair from when we moved to work from home. I submitted a request last week and basically said, hey, the office chair that I brought home back in March is busted. I need a new one.
And they sitting in that bitch?
And they gave me one. So there's one in my office that's brand new upstairs. And I got to keep the other one.
I know, that's right.
Oh yeah, they're winning, Mike. Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm about ready to
I got another monitor coming here in a week or two too. So
I'm about ready to say my job's name because y'all broke bitch ass motherfuckers wouldn't pay for a stool, let alone let a motherfucker take home an office
And
chair.
speaking of that,
Bitch ass niggas.
speaking of that, I know you haven't went through them yet, but I sent you a couple good referrals on some leads and different things for you
Listen,
to.
I had a conversation with a couple people about that, and before, I'm not gonna quite get into it right now. You know what? Why not? I'll get into it right now as quickly as possible. As you know, I always preach better the devil you know than the devil you don't. And we're coming into a situation right now where I can see a lot of ill shit happening, and I've yet to be wrong, if I'm being honest. So,
yeah, I got instinct.
I'm not going to leave the current position that I have to get more money to be put in a position where I then give up my work from home position to have to show up at a job that may potentially say you have to be vaccinated to continue being employed here.
Got it.
When I'm already good where I'm at. May not be making as much as I'd like, but my bills are paid and my side hustles cover the rest. So I'm not really concerned. I'm definitely not going to put myself in a position where I can now make $23 an hour and then be put in a position where I have to give that up and can't get unemployment because I'm not willing to take a vaccine. Because I can definitely see it being, well, if you're not willing to take it, you're fired. If you're fired and you haven't taken a vaccine, you no longer get unemployment.
But see, that's not the situation though.
Right, not currently.
That's not a thing now.
Not
well, but
currently.
and I think that'll be interesting to watch over the next, we'll call it 6 weeks.
6 months. I'll say 6 months. I'll say 6 months before
That's
it
fair.
happens. But I can see mandatory vaccinations for everybody at the 6 month mark who's not working from home or who has to be around people.
I would say if the Republicans were still in charge, you're probably right with Democrats and supposedly the far left, the radical left coming into power. I don't know that you're going to see that. I don't know that you're going to see protections for corporations around demanding people be vaccinated.
Well, see, I don't think it would be a protection for a corporation. I think it would be more so. I think it's going to be more so like when I saw that New York shit happen. I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, like, don't get me wrong. I know that there's people on both sides, but to see all those people lined up waiting to get a fake vaccination, it just made me feel like that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're in the era of overcorrection, so all it takes is a few people that have been vaccinated that are like, I'm not comfortable being around all these people that aren't vaccinated.
And that's fine, and they can work in the office and you work at home.
But that's the whole.
But that's what I'm saying. It's why would they accommodate you if the goal is to get everyone vaccinated? It's a forced your hand situation. It's not like, well, if you'd like not to get vaccinated, we could offer you the opportunity to work from home. No, they want everybody. No, they want everybody vaccinated.
But I would actually argue the only reason I would argue against that, and Cliff, we talked about this a little bit either last week or the week before.
Mm-hmm.
The apprehension around people working from home has dissipated throughout the course of the pandemic. Meaning, and you and I talked about this, like a lot of companies have basically given up their real estate,
right,
and are allowing more people to work from home. So if you choose not to get vaccinated, to me that says you just automatically get put into a work from home. Yep.
Right, but a lot of places are still looking at work from home as a
disadvantage or not
not like a right, but like you have to have accomplished something here at this company to be able to work from home. Like it's a lot of companies that are like, you have to work in office for 3 months before you're eligible.
Yeah.
And those are the situations where I'm like,
but that's also why you're saying like stay where you're at.
Right, I'm fine. I'll take the less money,
but
knowing how comfortable I am in this position.
But here's the thing, Cliff. I already talked to a bunch of recruiters this week. And they told me that most of the companies, especially in Columbus, are remote working, and they don't plan on having nobody working in the office.
They are right now.
Right.
Ask me, just this past job that you just worked at, how many times have you been lied to you since you've been working there?
I've been lied to several times. That's any company, though. What company doesn't lie to you about something?
Right. My point exactly.
Right.
My point exactly, right? So the whole point of the recruiter, the person at the job, is to get you to commit to something that they need you to, regardless if it's good for you or not. Which is why I'm sitting in this specific seat saying, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. Because if that wasn't the case, I would be more comfortable to go to a job that would say, we don't plan on having someone in the office. But let's be honest, I've been around enough to know that I don't trust you.
Right.
So I'm not going to leave what I already have to go to somewhere that I don't trust to see if you're telling me the truth. I don't have that opportunity.
Right.
That's not available to me.
So that's where...
And that, like I said, to both of you, when have I been wrong yet?
But here's the thing. Here's two things that I will say.
When have I been wrong yet?
You haven't been wrong, but here's the thing that I'll say.
So what I'm saying is I can see this happening. So mark my words. Mark my words, January 15th, Cliff said, I can see this happening. And once again, when 6 months comes down the line, Mike, when we have our podcast, you could say, Cliff, go ahead and say, I told you so. Or Mike, you can come on and say, yep, he did say that. But all I'm saying is, once again, I'm not a fool. I see how these chess pieces are being set up. I almost feel like the little bitch from, what's the name? And I'm looking up
Queen's
at the
Gambit.
ceiling. And I'm looking up at the ceiling. And I'm playing against the government. And I see all these moves. And I'm like, you don't see the fucking ceiling? Y'all don't see the ceiling? I see the ceiling. I see the moves that they're making. And I'm like, yeah, I see what you're trying. I see the checkmate you're trying to rock me into.
But two things. But here's the two things. And I can say this just from the fact that I think you and I don't know if Mike knows this, but we probably had like at least 4 or 5 jobs together, right? We literally worked at the same company, right?
So which is why I think I was surprised that you were a BA. Because you were a BA at your previous job, right?
Right. Well, that was just because of who I knew rather than what I knew and the money that I was supposed to make, which was great during the time. But the thing is, Cliff, is I think for you, it's like you're looking at the cup as half empty instead of half full. And then what's going to happen is, to your point,
fools. This is do fools agree.
Right. is that you say what you say because you said it before time and time again, but it comes a point where that final just what do they call it? The icing on the cake happens, where you're like, that's it, and you end up wanting to not necessarily blow up or explode, but you're like, I can't. I'm done. That's it. I'm out. I'm done. There's something new. I'm finding. I'm out. I'm moving on. You know what I mean? That eventually is what ends up happening.
Well,
so I'm just saying.
But let's acknowledge the present situation.
Right.
Because we're not in a specific scenario where I have to work up under anybody.
Right.
I hear you on that.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm on my own. No one crosses my threshold without my permission. So even if my boss were to show up at my address, what the fuck makes you think you're invited in? You feel what I'm saying? What I'm getting at is, you've lent me the equipment, but you have no control over my dwelling. Right. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And once I forfeit that ability, I'm then putting myself back into their home field advantage. Right now, we're playing on my home field. You understand what I'm saying?
On that front.
And on listen though.
I'm here.
On my home field, I make the rules. You hear what I'm saying? You can tell me when to clock in and when I should clock out. But this is my house. You decided to put your equipment in my house.
Right.
I run this shit. You heard what I'm saying? Period, point blank. Don't nobody pay these bills but me. And right now, me paying my bills is the number one thing you need for me to continue doing my job. So unless you're going to pay my bills for me, you have no say in what goes on inside of my dwelling.
Right, and I agree. But how long? Let's realistically, you know that eventually this virus.
But no. Me and Mike I don't know if you didn't listen, just like that inadvertently from last week. Me and Mike already said our specific employers have been subletting out the space that we used to work in. Meaning they don't plan on us coming back.
Right.
Now what you've done is you've given me the next move to put you in checkmate. You feel what I'm saying? You're not looking at it like that. You don't want me to come back. You're never going to make me come back. So now the fact that I have your equipment in my house, I run this shit. I'm just using your equipment. But if you'd like it back, I have no problem sending it to you. Just make sure that unemployment check is on the way. You heard what I'm saying?
So they're saying, so they're saying that even if the virus were to subside, they're still wanting you to be working home. You're saying even if things,
which is where we're,
Checkmate.
I think Cliff and I are both in the same boat there. Where
checkmate, Queen's Gambit.
Right, where it's work from home,
and
I'm
not willing to give up what I already know to be factual where I am currently, in hopes that someone else follows suit. I don't have
but I feel like so you talked about earlier talking about not listening when you talked about karma, and you talked about I'll be upset if she comes to me and says this happened to me, someone wronged me, what do I do? Because you want her to already know.
You say karma like my daughter?
Yeah, or you brought it up on the podcast. You're talking about Andrew. Mike's talking about Andrew. You were talking about karma. You guys were talking about
you talking about
children's instinct.
I'm following. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Earlier tonight.
Right. I'm following.
Yeah, when I was paying attention.
Right.
So the whole point I'm making is you basically both were saying as parents, and I respect it. Obviously, I agree. We don't want our kids to just take whatever from people. You want them to stand up for themselves, to fight for what they believe in, and make that change, right? You don't just take whatever.
No,
so I feel like that. Right. So that applies to us too, right? As men and as workers. And so what I'm saying is, if you know that you're worth more, why should you have to feel like, well, better the devil that I know? Like, put it this way.
Because of the listen. I'm gonna answer this question before you say put it this way. I'm understanding exactly what you're saying. But that's exactly because of the devil I know and the devil I don't. You feel what I'm saying? The devil that I know also knows me as well. You feel what I'm saying? So I know I'm in a position where you can't fire me.
Right.
You can. It's possible. You have the ability to let me go, but it wouldn't make sense on either of our ends. It wouldn't make sense for you to get rid of someone as good as me, and it wouldn't make sense for me to get rid of someone as convenient as you. So that's our mutual understanding currently.
And that's the whole point of an employer-employee relationship.
Right. But to start a new job, I'm starting a new mutual understanding, and those contracts haven't yet been signed.
You can't guarantee what that is.
Exactly. Yep. These have been signed. There's no way out of this. I've been in this for 3 years. If you went out of this, you're going to have to wedge me out of this. And either way, I win if you wedge me out. If I stay, I may lose out on a little bit more money I could have gotten here, but it's convenience. I go on when I want to go on, and I get off when I want to get off.
Right.
As long as I get those hours in, I'm good. It's not going to be the same somewhere else. And I don't know that someone knows me as the excellent employee as they know me here.
And see, I guess that's where I've decided, this is just for me personally, take that leap of faith. Listen, when I tell both of y'all, I don't give a fuck. I'm not, when I say that, I mean, I care as far as, I want my bills to be paid and stuff too, take care of my family. But I'm not afraid to see what else is out there anymore. I used to be...
Right. Well, wait a minute. I don't mean any disrespect, bro. But it's not a leap of faith when someone pushes you off.
But here's the thing,
Wait. It's not a leap of faith when someone says you are no longer employed and you now have to look for a new position. It's a leap of faith when you still have it and you say, this isn't working for me. Let me look for something new. That's something too.
Well, no, I would actually challenge that in the sense that it's not a leap of faith unless you don't have anything new when you leave.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because we deal with that at my company all the time. People leave all the time. 95% of the time it's because they found another job.
I see exactly. I agree. I agree with you there. We'll get the agreement on that one.
But here's my thing. I don't care if I'm not a company.
And
this is hold on. Well, listen, Cliff. This is something that I talked to my dad about. My dad is the 50-year-old version of Mike. You know, he's very well off financially, very, very well off.
First of all, we'll come back to that.
He's told me, no, Mike, because you know, props is props. You know, you do very good for yourself, and me and Cliff.
I do, but
we're proud of you for that.
So what I do want to call out there though is that while I had my leg up was the fact that my father died while I was growing up, and that's what afforded me to go to school.
Okay.
My situation growing up, I grew up in the hood. My parents made a decision around either live in the hood and send me to private school or live in a good neighborhood and send me to public.
Right.
So while I'm not saying we were poor.
Opposite.
I'm not saying we were poor, but we ate a lot of spaghetti growing up, is what I'm gonna say.
Right. Middle class.
Lower
class.
A lot of what I have is what I've earned.
Right.
Other than fortunately being able to pay for my education, I have done the whole live check to check. I lived check to check for the first 5 to 10 years of my professional life. It is only in the last 5 to 6 that I am what I would consider middle class to upper middle class.
Right.
I mean, when I graduated college, I was working a job that I made $26,000 a year, and I had nothing left in savings at that point. So, and that's not to try to prop myself up, but it's a understand, like, it's not like I come from money and I've always had money, because I coach with guys.
Oh no,
that are public school teachers, and they coach and they have $500,000 houses, and I'm like, what the fuck? How can you do that? Oh, listen, you come from money.
Right.
I don't come from money. I am quote unquote. What is it they talk about Alexander Hamilton in the new in the musical is I am new money. Like I didn't have money until
Mike, you don't. But here's the thing. Like I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what Cliff's always told me. But you don't have to explain yourself.
No,
you don't have to. You don't have to validate any of that, because I know Cliff knows all that because you guys grew up together,
right?
And I can see that myself. There's times
bottom line
offline.
I'm glad you brought that up. Is the bottom line is y'all? I don't have to say this. This is more so for the people that are listening. Y'all know y'all my motherfuckers to the end.
No doubt.
There's not much I wouldn't do for you, and I mean that literally. But when you say that, you are absolutely correct. You don't have to prove a point because you already have my loyalty.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm saying? If it was a situation where I was trying to peg you as, is he a trust fund kid that is playing like he, then you'd probably have to explain yourself.
And I have no doubt about that with you two. I'm also talking about the viewers.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm Moneybags. I'm fucking Moneybags. I'm here running the shit. I'm running the studio. All this shit.
You are.
Right.
Oh, you
That's not where I come from.
That's not where
I come from. I do that because I came into this on my own accord.
It's a blessing.
And I want to share this with the people that I care about.
Right.
But each generation, each generation
how the squad's supposed to be.
This is what you're supposed to do. So it's supposed to do. You know, all of us want our kids to have more than we ever had, right? I think we can all agree on that. We want to see them thrive. My whole point is, Cliff, is listen, and for Mike, obviously, too. Cliff, the sky's the limit for someone like you. You know that you're obviously, again, not that I have to tell you, I'm just reiterating for the viewers. We all know that you're, for example, someone very intelligent, very, very smart. All I'm saying is I get what you're saying is, hey, the ball's in your court, brother devil, you know. But all I'm saying is, you know, you definitely can do anything you want to do, and you know that. I know that you know that. I'm just reiterating it. So I just
of course
feel
I know
like
that.
You know what I'm saying. I just feel like I just feel like when you're ready, and I know eventually you will, because I know you'll see.
Well, see, now that's the thing, though. That's the thing. You know see, that's the thing, though. That's where we did that. Now that's where we disconnect. Is that
okay?
There may not ever be that day that you're thinking of for me, because
But why?
because like I've said, I play the game a certain way, right? And
Okay.
there are certain rules to the game that are to be expected if you're willing to play. But like
Right.
I've said so many times before, I don't fucking want to play with you.
Right.
I don't want to
Okay.
play.
Okay.
I don't want to play
Okay.
with you. And I mean that
Okay.
literally and figuratively. I don't want to play with you, Malcolm. I don't want to play with you, Mike. I don't want to play with anyone at the game they think we should be
That
playing.
we should be playing.
I got you.
Because I don't think that that's the game that anyone should be playing, let alone myself.
I agree
No,
on that.
that's just giving. So okay, so we're going into it. We're going into a thing that and I know we're coming close on the end.
We
I'm
are.
glad we brought that up because we're getting into something that I put up since we called this our anniversary
It was. Yep.
episode. What I did is I wrote down things that I loved.
Okay.
And I'll
Okay.
start it off with this. One of the things, and this was actually last on my list, one of the things that I loved was people that push back against the system and win.
All right.
Number
Rebellion.
one that popped into my mind was, for the sake of chronological, I'll say Maverick Carter.
Okay.
LeBron James manager, who's arguably
Yeah.
now one of the biggest sports managers in the history of sports managers.
Right.
This
I
is a
agree.
man who the NBA tried to push out, saying that he didn't go through their order of operations to be able to be that manager. And he said, I don't give a fuck about your order of operations. I'll do it this way. And he succeeded, and now he's thriving.
Right.
Right.
Here's another example. One that everybody hates, even people that love him hate it. Floyd Mayweather.
True.
I'll be so good that you have no choice but to give me what I want. And if that means I want $500 million a fight, I'll get paid $500 million a fight.
That's the old MASH principle, is that if you're good at your job,
You can do what
you
you,
can
want to
do whatever the fuck you want.
And I say that to you all the time. Now, see, here's the thing, though. So, Floyd Mayweather paved the way. I want to shout out another promoter by the name of Bill Haney. He has a son whose name is Devin Haney, who's arguably top 5 in the lightweight division. He's one of the best fighters ever. They say he's going to be the next Floyd Mayweather. He's so good that Bill Haney is his promoter, but there's certain grandfathered promoters. You know what I mean? There's Al Heyman with PBC who led Floyd Mayweather into what he was. There's
Right.
Bob Arum with Top Rank. There's Eddie Hearns with Matchroom. All these people are the elites that feel like nothing will get made unless you go through me. And then here's Bill Haney with a kid who's so good that I can say, no, I make our own fights. And if you don't want to go through me, you'll never get a fight. And now they have to bend at their whim and say, okay, Bill, what is it that you want? You've just succeeded. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Lastly, and this is a one that I know Michael pushed back on, Andrew fucking Schultz. Change the comedy game altogether. Nobody looks to sell their shit to Netflix anymore because they know how much money they can make on YouTube because of him. And that all came from a revenge plot. I
get
wanted
what
to
you're
sell
saying.
my shit to Netflix. Netflix would not buy it. So what I did was I made my shit worth so much on YouTube that Netflix had to triple their money to get it 2 years down the line.
Well, and that's part of the reason why YouTube doesn't pay content creators shit anymore.
And now it's a situation where Netflix is taking advice from the content creators.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that would work?
No, that's
Because
part of
you
the
don't
reason.
know
That's
shit.
part of the reason why content creators like Netflix is cutting people better deals from a creative perspective than pretty much any other company at this
So,
point.
like we've said in the past, we're in the era of realization. And the number one thing that I've realized from being very small is that if I don't want to play by your rules, I won't play your game.
Right.
And right now, in 2020, going into 2021, all the people that feel like me are currently succeeding. So what I'm saying is, if it means that you have to lose $4 to $5 off the hour to feel comfortable in knowing that where I am currently doesn't cause me any stress on my peace of mind, that's well worth it than knowing that I can add a couple $1,000 to my bank account and knowing that this may crash and burn all around me.
Yeah.
It's not
I agree.
worth it to me.
I hear you on that.
Certain people are like, my bills are drowning me. I'll drown. You know what I mean? As long as I can pop back up to get a breath, I'm good where I'm at. But you're never going to force me to do something outside of my character because I feel like I have less. Because I can get over without anything at all.
Right.
Yeah. So do you think that road is tougher? The road that you're talking about, which is
definitely
basically doing it your way.
Definitely. But the only difference is comfort. Yes, it's tougher. Yes, it's tough to know that there's a lot of people out there that are, and I don't mean it this way, but I do mean it this way, that are lesser than you in a lot of aspects, that are making more. But at the same time, it's a longevity game. This is a marathon. This isn't a sprint.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I know how much I could make if I chose to lace up my track cleats and dust ass. But that also puts me in a position where I could be, for lack of a better word, I could be out of position of getting into that next spot I need. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like hanging back. It's almost like the guy who's running the 1600 marathon, and he knows he has more in the gas tank, but I'm letting everybody beat me.
Letting everybody
You feel me?
up.
Because you're gassing yourself out. But as soon as that last lap comes, and I know I got more in the tank, I'm taking off, and I know you've worn yourself out in this race already.
So here's how, and I don't know, Mike, how much you are in the basketball clip. I know you are. So here's the analogy I'll use it. It sounds like to me. You correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Russell Westbrook though, right? Because Russell Westbrook. Let's be real, and this is just what it is.
It sounds like Randy Moss. It sounds like Odell Beckham. It sounds like all those people that were able to amaze you with their capabilities. But it was like, well, that's not what we're doing right now. We're not toe tapping on the sideline. We're not one-handed into the end zone. Or we're not driving it from court to court and dunking on the center and you're only a point guard. What are you doing that for? But the truth is, I have the capability to do it. So who should have the power to stop me from?
Yep.
I'm the only person that can stop me, and usually the only way I'm going to stop is if I start believing what everybody else around me is saying.
Yep.
Including the people like you. It's Mike. You feel what I'm saying? That's just what's good, boy. That's just not something that I got in me.
You'll be right tomorrow. Hey, Brant said, "What up, Cliff?
What
up, Mike?
What's going on?
What up? Hey, he just started his little new gig today. A little warehouse, making some good money and shit. So he's back to work now. I said the week I got fired, he got hired. I said, hey, that's just how it goes.
That's the way life works. But you can't stress yourself out over that because that's what they want you to do.
And y'all both got two ladies that are too good for you two. So, with all of that, we are at time. Cliff, anything to kind of close us out here?
I enjoy,
especially about the fact that you're in, my man.
That's how I was about to say. Listen, I enjoy the new studio. I enjoy the new year.
Over and
I enjoy the new
for all the
start.
motherfuckers that said we couldn't get to a year.
Listen, sometimes I just talked to my bro today in the big house. Sometimes revenge is the best motivation.
Right.
So, and success is the best revenge. So, let's motivate. Love or revenge.
Malcolm, you got anything?
Black don't crack.
There you go. And Cliff, do we want to announce? Are we both on the same page with the new show, the sports talk show?
Uh-oh.
Do we want to announce the title here?
You definitely can. I'm definitely with the title.
So
I haven't heard it.
So are we agreed?
Agreed.
Do fools agree?
Listen,
do fools agree?
Since Malk's involved, we agree. Let's see if he agrees.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do fools agree? Hit the showers. The new podcast, the new sports talk podcast, coming to you from the Foolproof Entertainment Network. Coming up here in February is probably when we're going to try to get it going. But yeah, hit the showers. Hit the showers podcast.
Hit the showers
with the Foolproof Entertainment Network, and we'll get that going here in February. We're gonna work on logos and all that shit, but
I like it. I think
hit the showers podcast so that it captures all sports. I think that was our big topic. Was how do we capture all sports? How do we talk about it from a post-game standpoint? So the Hit the Showers podcast will be coming to you live on the Foolproof Entertainment Network.
It'll be something.
I like it. It may even bring in a couple additional followers.
It might bring in some unexpected followers. Is what we talked about.
Well, I like it. I think that's a good one. I like it. I'm with it. I'm with whatever.
I'm tasting beer.
So with all of that, we will be doing a live post show. We're gonna flip the Zoom invite. So if you got my cell phone number, it is my cell phone, lowercase fools. We'll be setting that up after the show. And with all of that, thank you for joining us. I know that this has been a crazy year. It was about a month after we started this podcast that things kind of shut down across the country. And I will attribute that to some of our success in terms of, we grew to about 60 plus subscribers. But we appreciate it. And with all of that, we're looking forward to another year. And it is one of those things that we are only as good as the community that we build around us. Whether it's people like Malcolm, people like Mel, people like Matt, all sorts of the folks that have joined us, Aaron, etc. We cannot be us without all of you. So thank you for joining the Foolproof Entertainment Network, and thank you for being subscribers, fans, all of that. And if you're not currently subscribed, do it now. Head over to Apple Podcasts, head over to Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that shit. Do us a favor, like, subscribe, leave us a review, all that stuff. And we appreciate all of y'all. Hit us up. We appreciate you. Love you. Have a good one. Peace out, fools. Maybe.
Right, I'm about to say.